Selamat sejahtera to Dr. Siti Khadijah. My name is Ling Xing Ru with matric number 263667. I am the student with Construction Technology class from Group A, and now I am going to present my individual assignment, which include 5 contents. The first one is Project Life Cycle. The second one is activity involved during construction project. And the third one is key players, and the fourth is project planning and controlling, and the last one is a successful construction. Okay, first of all, I want to explain what is project life cycle. The project life cycle is a 4-step framework designed to help the project manager to guide their project successfully from start to finish. The purpose of the project life cycle is to create an easy to follow the framework to guide the project. Besides that, the project life cycle also will help in good communications between project team and also stakeholder. This is to make sure that the goals are achievable with the available resources and also help them mitigate risk and keep the project on track. So, in project life cycle, there are content of 4-step framework. The first one, which is initiations, and the second one is planning, and the third one is executions, and the last one is closure. For the first step, which is initiations, project initiation stage is define those processes that are required to start a new project. And the purpose of the project initiation phase is to determine what the project should accomplish. This phase mainly composed of 2 main activities, which is develop a project charter and also identifying the stakeholder. All the information related to the project are entered in the project charter and stakeholder register. When the project charter is approved, the project becomes officially authorized. So, in the project charter, define the project main elements is include project goals, project constraints, and also problem statement, assign project manager, stakeholder list, high-level schedule and budget, and the last one is approvals. Besides that, the stakeholder register will have information like type of stakeholder, expectation of stakeholder, role in project, type communications, and also influencer of the project. So in the second step, which is planning. In project planning stage, is cover about 50% of the whole process. Planning phase determines the scope of the project as well as the objective of the project. It begins with the output of initiation phase, which is charter, preliminary, scope statement, and also project manager. The output of the planning phase serves as the input for the execution phase. The important aspects of planning process are: planning phase should not be executed before your initial planning is finished. And the second one is until the execution process does not start, you should not stop the revising plans. In the planning stage, we also will create work breakdown structure. In short form, we call WBS. So in project life cycle, the third step, which is execution. In this stage, consists of those activities that are defined in the project management plan. The process involves managing stakeholder expectation, coordinating with people and resources, as well as performing other activities related to the project deliverables. During the execution phase, the result may require rebaselining and update to existing project requirements. Action taken in execution phase may affect the project management plans or document. So, the stage consumes most of the project cost, time, and resources, as this is the process that produces project deliverable. There are 4 inputs to direct and manage project executions, which is project management plans. Approved charge requires EEF, which is enterprise environmental factors, and the last one, which is OPA, with organizational process SS. And the last one, which is closure, and we call closing. Closing phase in the process that performing a control shutdown of the project at the end. In a project, there are three closure activities that are going on. The first, which is closure of the product, getting the customer to accept the final deliverable if the project is external. And the second one, which is closure of the project. This includes formally closing of administrative procedure, updating project document, and also achieving those database and document. And the last one, which is closure of the resources behind the project. The financial closure of the project, resources assigned to the project should be returned. The input of this process also include project management plan, acceptable deliverable, and also OPA. And I'm going to continue my presentation with 2.0, which is activity involved during construction project. There are 11 different activities involved during the construction project, and the first one, which is marking and grading. Marking and grading is one of the first construction activity which involve marking the area of plot of reference. This is help the workers to always be able to orient themselves and in terms of their workshop. And this also to ensure that the building are even last long and maintain the maximum support. And the second one, which is excavation. There are several different types of construction activity in excavation. In general, the term involves moving earth or rock out of the certain area to prepare it for construction. This includes basement excavation, which dig the earth out to prepare for a basement to be built. The third one is concreting. The process of pouring concrete is another major activity in construction. It is often used for the base of buildings, for roofs, bridge, pipes, and many other applications. One of the reasons it has become so popular in the construction industry is that concrete is easy to make it large quantity and it change state so that it is easy to work with the manipulate. The fourth one is carpentry. One of the first activity that come to many people mind when construction is mentioned is carpentry. This is the general cutting and installation of material that will be used for the constructions of a structure. Carpentry used to be a work that described individual working with wood. But now, carpentry means working with several different materials. And the fifth, which is brick masonry. Bricks have been used in construction for decades and still used often today as a high efficient material. Brick mason lay the brick, ensuring that they lay in a way that structurally sound. The number 6, which is pumping. In structure that require pumping, there are specific pumping activities that must occur to ensure that will function properly. This is include putting in piping and fixture for both incoming potable water and outgoing waste. And the 7, which is welding. The activity of attaching two metals together using heat is welding. A crucial action in construction used to bring metal, especially for structural purpose. And there are different types of welding which can be used for different types of metal and different conditions. And the 8, which is electrical. Individual working as electricians of a construction product are responsible for ensuring that the structure will ultimately have full access to electricity from the transformers provided by electric company, which is located close to the building. And the ninth, which is roof laying. Roof is an important construction activity for ensuring the protection of a structure from the elements, and it also can help to provide the stability for the structure. And the 10th, which is glazing. This activity is basically anything to do with glass window and doors in a construction project. The term is used broadly to reference in installation to pretty much any glass involved in the construction of the particular structure. And the last one, which is finishing. Finishing is the construction, means putting on the final touch of a structure in order to prepare it to be used. This includes but is not limited to an activity like glazing, flooring, painting, wallpapering, and also plastering. And now I'm going to present the 3.0, which is key player. The construction industry is made out of series of relationships with architect, designer, engineer, contractor, and also subcontractor, and all of the working together to meet the needs of the clients. And the aim of this series is to provide a clearer view of the complex construction industry and how the different members of the project team work together. And the first one, which is the client. The client is a person or company with the controlling interest in the project. Generally, the client will retain the significant level to control over the assessment and appointment of designer and contractor for a project. And the second one, which is contractor. In contractor, there are main contractor and also subcontractor. Contractor is the people who are carrying out the building project construction work, and the contractor are the people who know the technical and to get the structure of the ground. However, the contractor and subcontractor could bear others title which include principal, prime contractor. The subcontractor could also be described based on what they are doing. For example, if they are specialists in trade work, general work, domestic work, and also many others. And the third one of key player is suppliers. Supplier as a party that supplies goods or services. In construction, the goods include any material that go into a build structure, while services refer to all different work packages agreed upon by different parties pertaining to the development of the build structure. Recently, the industry has released the importance of the supply chain and how this can be managed when carrying out project activity. With the growth of off-site construction expected to continue, supply chain management becoming more complex, time-consuming, and also important to the successful delivery of a project. And the last one, key player, which is consultant. A consultant is defined as a person who provides a professional or expert advice in a particular field of science of business to either an organization or individual. In construction, the advice varies from time to time depending on the stage of the project. For instance, at the very beginning of the project, the advice would be sought for design work by the architect or engineer. Advice will also be needed to define and set up the project. The client may also seek advice to prepare the produced tender document as well as the administration of the contract and for the inspections of the work. So consultant also very important in construction industry. 4.0, which is project planning and also controlling. First of all, project planning is one of the important steps in which controllers and project managers work together, which is creating project plan, schedule, work breakdown structure, we call WBS, or cost estimate planning, give everyone a baseline to work with throughout the project. In construction planning, it's the process of figuring out the most efficient and cost-effective method to arrive at a satisfactory final project. Due to the fact that the project plan is also used as the benchmark from which to derive a project cost estimate and project completion timeline, it needs to be as comprehensive as possible. So not only must a project planner assess all of the material and labor required to complete a construction project, but they also must schedule those tasks in a way that improve the efficiency of the project as a whole. So in construction project planning also define that the act of creating a development plan for a construction project. The goal in instruction project planning are define the work tasks of each entity involved in the project, illustrate the relationship between different work tasks and the individual entities that are performing the task, and the last one is use the plan to arrive at a timeline and budget for the project. 4.2, which is project controlling. First, project control are process for gathering and analyze project data to keep costs and also in schedule on track. The main objective of project control is to minimize the variance in cost and schedule from what was originally planned. So in the project control is part of the monitoring function that analyzes the scenario and provides the recommendation. And in project control, they include the initiating, planning, monitoring, controlling, communicating, and also closing out of the project costs. Project control are interactive process for measuring the project status, forecasting outcomes based on those measurements, and then improving the project. Those projected outcomes are unacceptable. And the last part, which is successful construction. Construction means that the building of something. This can mean that the building of anything from motorways to an office block to a brand new cinema. It is happening all around us, all the time. The bigger the project, then the longer it will be taken to build. So some construction could last a few weeks and some could last a few years. There is a lot of hard work involved in constructing a building, and there are various different stages. Besides that, the construction is a team project and requires a lot of working together. A construction project may require a very large or small workforce depending on the size of the building project. No matter what the size is, there are lots of different jobs to do, requiring many different skills. So how can be a successful construction? And I already list out 5 of the tips to be a successful construction. And the first one, which is implement continuous planning. Construction managers should start the planning long before a project begins and continue to revise and develop the plan until the project ends. The design, the pre-construction, and also the procurement stage of each construction project require to immense planning, and each man needs to revise as the next phase begins. And the second tip, which is build an effective communication flow. Communication is crucial in every phase of any construction project. Building an effective communication flow will facilitate coordination between all parties. Transparent communication will make the process smoother and reduce the number of email and phone calls whenever there is an issue. One of the simplest ways to create a effective communication flow is using a centralized communication system. A centralized platform also allows you to submit any change to the website in real time through instant alert, automate action, and also easy to visual dashboards. So this will give us more time and arrange the coordinate to the next stage of the work. So this is very effective. And the third tip to be a successful construction is re-evaluate your workflow. The purpose of construction project management is to ensure that the project is complete on time, so within budget and reach the target. However, even if the project runs well, you still have to evaluate it. There might be better ways to manage the project or overcome the issue. Without a complete assessment, we will never know what we can improve for better profits. So the best way to have successful construction project is to continue evaluate the way to manage it. Besides that, the next tip is use an automated construction project management solution. No construction manager has the time to answer every email that comes in, send report to stakeholders manually, or answer the question from each party related to the budget and progress by phone. Without an automated system, construction project manager won't run efficiently. So an automated system allows we to save the time and effort managing each project. It enables we to generate report instantly and share any information with the right people and the right time. Not only does it benefit we as a construction manager, but also our team. So our team, our subcontractor, our partner, and also stakeholder. So this is very efficient if we use automated construction project management solution. And the last tips is we must control cost the smarter way. The permits, wages, materials, and equipment required for project are often exchanged between multiple financial sources and vendors. From the initial binding process to the closing of the project, construction managers are responsible for tracking and monitoring all costs, especially those related to the initial budget. Construction projects, no matter how small they are, contain hundreds of moving parts and individual costs, so we need software to make it easier for our manage the control expenses. So a project management system can help us to estimate the budget and the revenue per project. So this app also very helpful, and this also can ensure proper budget allocations and accurate bill calculation. So there are 5 tips, and they are very useful for tips for become a successful constructions. And that's all of me. Thank you.